Wow. Thanks a lot. Save some for the end. Nice to see all of you. How many of you have never seen me before? This is your first time? Wow. Big percentage. Well, I'm just delighted to be here. It's nice to be back. It says something to be invited back. Doesn't say everything, but it says something. Maybe it says, let's give him one more chance. See if he can get it right this time. And my congratulations to all of you, right, that did the extra work to get here. Made the calls, walked the streets, knocked on the doors, did the meetings, talked to the people, and paid the price. I appreciate that. The big price, of course, being your time to be here. But you're the cream of the crop. You're the ones that are out there doing it and leading the way, picking up the task. And I appreciate that. For someone like me, it's very exciting to have a chance to talk to a group like you because it is unquestionably the most fertile of mental soil in which to drop the seeds of ideas. And that's what I'm all about, taking the time to speak with people who care about themselves and care about the future and care about personal development and care about growing, and then who also care about reaching out, touching someone else and giving them a chance to walk the high road and pay a bit of price to cash in on an opportunity, and then take their friends and relatives, people they care about along with them, and make for themselves a better life for themselves and for their family and for the people they care about, their future. So, what a joy for me to have a chance to stop by and see if I can't bring some of my experience to bear on this occasion. You've already had plenty. You think if we wrapped it all up and went home, I think you've already had enough. A lady came up to me at the first break in my seminar not long ago, and she said, Mr. Rohn, I've already gotten my money's worth. And I said, well, you can still stay. Said, you don't have to just get your money's worth and leave. So I know you've gotten your money's worth and your time's worth already, so you could be out of here and still be well compensated for the time and money you've spent. But I appreciate you lingering here a little longer and letting me come by and add my testimonial along with adding a bit of my experience and see if I can't make this occasion of these few days valuable from my part. I just got back from Australia and New Zealand, and I'm on my way to South America. So I really just stopped by. I'm always just on my way somewhere. A couple of nights ago, I was also in Atlanta. Before that, Virginia Beach. And before that, I was in Sydney. 8 cities I covered in Australia and also New Zealand. And so I'm on a fast pace. And hopefully before the end of the year, getting to visit some other countries around the world. But what a joy it is to come by. And, the world will soon know what you're doing here. Sometimes when you're off doing it in a quiet location, when you're off doing it in a small meeting, when you're off telling the story in someone's living room that hasn't got the dimensions of this room here today, and you're telling it to, just a handful of people that are listening, or one-on-one. Sometimes it seems like, it's just a small part, but the opportunity to get together like this lets you know that whatever you're doing out there is a small part of something much bigger than you are, much bigger than I am, much bigger than all of us are combined. And that's what you want as far as the drama of your life is concerned, to be a part of something bigger than you are. But for you that have paid the extra price, done those extra meetings, and worked extra hard, my congratulations to you. Because I know what it's like. I've been out there putting together my own enterprises for the last 40, 45 years. And I know what those early days are like. But part of it is your camaraderie with each other, chance to be able to call each other, lean on each other's experiences, and to be able to see a bit more of the vision collectively that you couldn't see for yourself personally. And for your notes today, that one of the causes we have is to help people see themselves better than they are before they can see it for themselves. Help them to see the vision through our eyes before they can see it for themselves. One of my father's close friends in Idaho, Jack Simplot, Idaho's billionaire. I don't know, he's worth about $1.5 billion. He and my father have been friends for about 45 years, long time. And Jack's quite a character, 88, 89 years old, still going strong. He produces French fries, among a lot of other things. Ray Kroc was one of his close friends. And one of Jack's customers is McDonald's. In fact, that's probably the only customer you need, right, is McDonald's, if you're making French fries. But, Jack is a billionaire, and I just love to be around him. I love to shake his hand. Not many times you have a chance to have a $1 billion handshake, right? I found out what the $1 million handshake was all about, but the billion, I'm telling you, you can feel it. It's heavy, heavy. So Jack has got a $1 billion handshake. But we're now in tune with talking billions. But now beyond billion is trillion. Sad to say, America is what? $4 trillion in debt. And I'm not sure I understand what $1 trillion is. But I'm sure $1 trillion here, $1 trillion there, it starts to add up. So, the government now is leading the way in using the word trillion. But one of these days, some company is going to move up in as we break into the 21st century, some company is going to break into that awesome, awesome number. I don't know how far it's going to be or who it's going to be or how big it's going to be, but the magic trillion. But whether it's trillion or whether it's billions or whether it's millions, opportunity was never greater. And I'd like to have you start your notes with this. My view of the 21st century. Number one, unprecedented opportunity. Unprecedented opportunity. Now that the walls have come tumbling down, communism is in disgrace. The two major questions that the philosophers have been wrestling with the last 6,000 years, here they are. Number one, what constitutes a good government? It's been the big debate among philosophers for the last 6,000 years. How best to govern the people? Hitler said, I've got it, right? A master race to run the rest. And we found out how diabolical that was, right? Took 50 million lives to get him stopped and to get his fingers from around our throat. What an awesome devastation that was for the whole world. We called it World War II, primarily to stop this diabolical character from exercising his political judgment, not only on his own country, but he tried to inflict it on the whole world, along with his desperate cohorts. And what a bloody conflict that was, as the dark shadows of night passed over us for about, 5 years. So, what form of government should we choose? Then communism comes along. Stalin says, we've got the answer. Capital belongs in the hands of the state, not the people. People are too dumb and stupid to know what to do with capital. Capital must be given to the state, the all-wise, all-knowing state. And let the state run everything. Let the dumb people show up for their work assignment. And we were all very well aware of the devastation they caused for the last 75 years as we debated that godless ideology, as they shut down the churches and closed the synagogues and declared that there was no God as official doctrine. And they devastated every country and every person they touched. It is going to take $1 trillion to clean up East Germany. They have already spent $500 billion, and they've got $500 billion yet to go. What a devastation for 75 years. But we finally got rid of communism. The walls came tumbling down. I met Ed Meese on the airplane the other day going to Australia, who was, Ronald Reagan's chief of staff for a while. And I asked Ed, I said, Ed, were you there when Ronald Reagan made his speech at the Berlin Wall, when he thundered, Gorbachev, tear down this wall? He said, no, of all the occasions I would like to have been, that was one, but I had to miss that one. He said, I made most all the rest. But what an occasion that was, and soon after that, the walls finally came tumbling down, communism in disgrace after 75 years of horror. The Iron Curtain dropped all over the world. But finally, it finished. First thing people started to do when the walls came tumbling down was open up the churches. They wanted to sing the Messiah after 75 years of absence in St. Petersburg. And sure enough, not long after that, the Messiah was sung and the bells were rung in St. Petersburg as the long shadow of communism finally was pushed back, pushed back, pushed back. So, what constitutes a good government? Somebody once said, what's best probably would be a benevolent king. The only problem is those two don't usually go together. Most benevolent people don't tend to be kings, and most kings don't tend to be benevolent. But we've preached now all these years, the last 200 and especially the last 75 in debate with communism, the best form of government is democracy and freedom. It's fun to watch freedom when it finally takes hold, democracy when it finally begins its process, free enterprise when it finally starts bringing goods and services to the marketplace from the genius of the people, not the state. It is a marvel to watch when people take pennies and turn it into fortune and take dollars and turn it into enterprise. It's exciting when the government is limited and the people are expanded, and no longer are the people required to serve the state, but the state is required to serve the people. How exciting to watch democracy flourish. I've been in Prague every summer, the last 3 summers. It's exciting to watch freedom now in Prague. You can talk politics now in the cafes in the square and not be afraid. It's fun to watch some of those Eastern European countries with all of the problems and with all that it takes to finally get it sorted out. And, the mafia takes advantage in the old KBJ, KJB. What is it? KBG. As they've turned into the new mafia in Russia. But with all of that, I'm telling you, once freedom starts to go, once the grassroots start to take hold, once people understand that if they take full responsibility, they can build a country second to none, they can enjoy the fruits of their own labor, they can work together and build democracy and freedom, and have the vote the politicians in, vote them out, limited government. I'm telling you, it's fun to watch all that take hold. And since I have a chance to travel around the world, I get to see it many times close up, firsthand. But anyway, freedom and democracy, we feel, is the best form of government. Churchill said, democracy is a little messy, but it's better than any other form of government we've been able to design for the last 6,000 years. So, question 1, what constitutes a good government? Here's question number 2, the philosophers have been wrestling with for the last 6,000 years. What constitutes a good life? What makes life unique and worthwhile as we find ourselves here on this spinning planet headed somewhere? What are the elements of a good life? How do you build a good life? I deal with that in some of my other seminar material. But those are big questions to ask. What constitutes a good government? What constitutes a good life? But in the 21st century, my opinion, there's going to be expanded opportunity as democracy has now taken hold around the world. I'm off to South America to see some more of it next month. Mexico City, with all of the challenges. I'm telling you, once the air blows clean and there's a chance for people to take charge of their own lives and their own destinies and put together the capital of their lives, the capital of their time, the capital of their money, and the capital of their ideas, blended together with others to build enterprise and build a community and build a state and then build a country. I'm telling you, it starts to work wonders. But next century, 21, number one is going to be unprecedented opportunity. But here's number two, keen competition. But that should whet the appetite of everyone in this room, keen competition. Competition, we're ready for competition. The nations are going to compete. Ideologies are going to compete. Communism still wants to rear its ugly head. Socialism still wants to pronounce, no, no, no. The people aren't competent enough to run their own destiny. They need bigger and bigger and bigger government. The ideologies are going to compete in the 21st century. Countries are going to compete. Industries are going to compete. But that's what's going to make a healthy chance to build the dynamics of the 21st century. And if we can hold back from the insanity of an atomic holocaust, which it looks like we've done the last few years, backing away from the abyss, I think we've got a pretty good chance. At least I'm telling my grandchildren and my children that the chances were probably never better. Now, the dangers are not that far away, but the chances were never better for reason to prevail and for opportunity to be spread around the world among 5 to 6 billion people that inhabit the globe. We've got the best chance. Now, it doesn't mean that we're not going to blow it, but at least we've got a chance. Here's a unique thing about the beginning of the 21st century. We haven't messed it up yet. That's the unique part about waking up in the morning. Here's what you want to do is get up early, right? Be thankful in the early part of the day that you haven't messed it up yet. You've got a clean day to write a clean script, a chance to correct some mistakes of the past, a chance to capture some vision of the future, and a chance to write some real script about life, your life, and enterprise, and your participation as you march on down the road. So we've got a chance, 21st century. We've got a chance the next millennium. We've got a chance the next decade. And here's what I'd like to have you consider: getting ready the next 4.5 years for the 21st century. That's what part of this proceedings is all about. Not just to build a company, not just to build an enterprise here, but for all of us to get ready with our families and with the people we care about to march with confident steps into the 21st century. So that's what we're here about. That's why we want to learn. That's why we want to study. That's why we want to grow. And that's why we want to take the time to sharpen our pencils, open up our journals, and one more time, listen intently to the testimonials. Listen intently to each other. Listen intently to the conversations. Listen intently to what's delivered at this podium. Listen intently to see if we can't hear the call, to see if we can't hear the refinement of ideas that can help shape our lives for the future. So I'm just delighted to be here. This is a strategic moment in time in this young company's history. It's a strategic moment in the world. It's a strategic moment in history. And if you can capture the essence of the moment, the drama of life as it now touches you, and some of us have been participating for a while, right? I got some gray hair to prove I've been here for a while. But we've got a while to go. But here we are at the wind-up of one century and the beginning of another. Also at the launch of a new enterprise, a new company, a new vision, a new chance, a new opportunity, some new products, some new ideas, some refinement. And you've gotten caught up in an early drama here of a company that's on the march and that's on the move. I'm sure you can sense that. Sometimes people can't get a sense of it until the time has passed and they have a chance to look back. But then there are those special people, and I would assume that you are those special people that haven't just looked back, but you've been looking forward, and you've been able to say, I think I have dropped in at the right time. I think I have made contact with the right people at the right time for the right moment at the right part of the century, the right piece of the industry, and I'm sure that that's why you're here. You have that sense that if all goes well, and be the good Lord willing, and we do our job well, if circumstances will smile upon us, if life will give us a chance as life has given others a chance, we will do the right things with this opportunity. We will do the right things about our own lives and our family. We will do the right things about the gifts that we have, and the information that we've got, and we will wisely weave that like a fabric of future. And we'll start doing it better and better every day. That's what this meeting is all about. And that's why I'm glad I was invited to come by here and participate in that. I call this high drama. You know, I have a chance to travel around the world, and there are some times when I have a chance to participate in what's called high drama. And as I got here last night and heard the buzz and met some of the people, had a chance to slip away and rest a little bit, I couldn't wait to get here today and be a part of all of this. To look into your faces with keen interest, to watch your response with more interest, and to see if I couldn't blend a bit of my talent with yours and use this occasion to gather up ourselves, our gifts, and gather up this idea and this cause and see if we couldn't move it along the way so that very soon we'll be able to look back and say, what an extraordinary bit of time this has been. What an extraordinary first year. What an extraordinary couple of years. As this drama touched our lives, we said yes. We started participating. We rolled up our sleeves. We went to work. We put in the time. We put in the effort to see if we couldn't blend our spirit with others and make it something unusual and make it powerful. Destiny is here. Of course, it's possible to mess it up. That history reads like that for the last 6,000 years. But with all of the factors going here, there's no reason to do that. There's no reason that every problem can't be solved. There's no reason that every, hitch can't be taken care of. There's no reason why, as this whole thing starts to unfold, that we can't each take a piece of it and say, hey, I'll solve my piece. And then the leadership will solve their piece. The company will solve whatever problems they have to solve. And my organization, we'll get that in line so that each person takes a piece of it. And then the drama starts to take shape. And that's already happening. It's fun to watch. I'm in touch here, seeing what's going on. And I couldn't be more delighted with what's happened so early, so fast, so quick. And all of that is due to your participation, your interest, blending your life with the lives that got this thing going. And I'm just delighted to be a part of it. So glad I got a chance to come by. All right.